壁へこんでるじゃない、もう。
Gamer girl kawaii. What's up, guys, and welcome back for another episode of Chaos Child. Sorry we missed yesterday, but let's get right back into it. So, we just met, potentially, another heroine. Although we don't know much about her. Class president goes by the nickname Queen, and she seems to have a history with our main protagonist. Doesn't take kindly to being referred to by her last name, but I'm not calling her Queen. I mean, not yet. But let's see what her second-in-command has to say about us getting all friendly with her.
Miyashiro, またお前か。今度は何したんだ?
Masashi Kawahara. He's got beef. Well, I really don't like that look in his eyes, but trying to stay positive, so we'll keep to it for as long as we can. Unless I'm feeling like I'm in a really bad mood. But we don't know this guy yet. We don't know. He could just be jealous, which is perfectly normal. Kawahara cut her off. I didn't know his first name. He was in the same class as Ito and I, and he was the vice president of the student council. Ah, so he is second in command.
いやいい。言わなくても分かってる。また例のくだらない記者ごっこだろ？それとも探偵気取りか？
Why not both? I knew why he was giving me a hard time. He didn't like the fact that Kurisu was spending time with me. By the way, if I end up saying Kurisu, please forgive me. I'm too used to Steins Gate.
別にその何？川原君に迷惑はかけてないと思いますけど。
I know it's not.
かかってるんだよ。クルスの時間が割かれると同じ生徒会の俺たち全員にな。
Think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. I happened to glance down at Kawahara's belt. The fastener seemed to be broken. That gave me an idea. Whoa! I yanked down on his pants as hard as I could. Okay, those weren't the happy thoughts I was referring to. Just as I thought, they came straight off. His underwear was plainly visible.
白ブリーフかよ。
Ouch.
うわー！宮代、お前何するんだ！君があんまりうるさいから。ふざけるな！
川原くん、いいから早く吐きなさい。みっともないでしょ。
みっともないってそんな。
ほら、みんな見てる。
That's not the first thing you do? Tightwad wears tidy whities, I see. All the students around us were staring at him and laughing. Poetic justice. Although that was kinda cruel. His face quickly turned red.
ひどい。ひどすぎる。
Meanie. He pulled up his pants and ran away with tears in his eyes. Okay, that's... now I feel bad. He looked absolutely miserable. Or so we'd want to believe. Just imagining that made me feel better. I'd never do something so childish in real life, though. Good. Yanking down someone's pants if they ticked you off was the kind of thing a third grader would do. Okay, so we recognize. Thinking and doing are very different things. I was above that. I knew that the best way to deal with someone like Kawahara was just to ignore them.
お前小中と不登校だったんだって
Whoa, that's a low blow. I could feel my legs tense up. I stopped. My face got hot, and without thinking, I glared accusingly at Kurusu. She quickly shook her head.
川原くん、急いでいるから。
But he kept on staring at me. I feel like he was gritting a little. It pissed me off. But there was nothing I could say. I did the best I could to ignore him and turn away. I ignored what sounded like a little laugh and hurried to the club room. That sounded more like a click of the tongue, which is something that Japanese people tend to do in anime when they're feeling frustrated, or other instances. It's not always frustration, but that's what it sounded like to me. Like, you win this time. Chi. It wasn't me, okay? He skipped grades? Was that because he was smart, or was there a health issue? The second the three of us were alone in the club room, her expression changed. The smile plastered on the student council president's face disappeared. This was who she really was.
何が
What wasn't?
川原くんが言ってたこと。私が彼に言ったわけじゃないから。
別に気にしてないよ
嘘。
Really, it didn't. Everything about me was different than it used to be.
まあまあで何副部長話があんでしょ
Way to have my back, bro. I forgot you were even there. Kurusu sighed and changed the subject.
タクル、あなたちゃんとご飯食べてるの？少し痩せたんじゃない？
Huh? Where was this coming from?
これからどんどん寒くなってくるでしょ？住んでるところの防寒対策とかちゃんとしてるんでしょうね。
I'm fine, Mom. But do we seriously have 2 childhood friends so far? Score. Ugh. Crap. She was in nag mode.
進路調査、結局就職で提出したんですって？進学で提出しなさいって言ったのに、勉強できないわけじゃないんだから。
Okay, that is a very mom thing to say.
確かに今からだと厳しいけど、受験なら私が面倒見るってこれも前に言ったでしょ？
調べたのというより話ってそれ
どうなの？ちゃんと食べてるの？
食べてるよ大丈夫だって
I waved my hand to bring the conversation to a close. I didn't want this to end the way it used to, with a 6-hour lecture about how every aspect of my life was wrong, followed by hard labor as my punishment. Kurusu looked like she still had a lot more to say, but a moment later...
あなた、先週の金曜日、学校サボったでしょ？
Huh? Oh, so that was what all this was about.
サボったよ別に問題ないだろ
あるに決まってるでしょ。
No one defies the
どこで
student
何して
council
たの？
president.
ストレージにアップした画像、あれを撮りに行ってたんじゃないの？
Busted. Damn it. I figured that would be it. She was right. The pictures I'd taken from the karaoke box were from last Friday, when I'd skipped school. I'd started staking out the place early in the morning, and waited for the manager of the condo building to open the curtains.
苦労したんだ。でもおかげで警察以外まだ誰も見てない現場の画像を撮れた。
こういう事件ばかり追いかけるのはやめなさいって前から言ってるでしょ。
It's my life. I do what I want. Caruso was the vice president of the newspaper club, that too, and had been opposed to Ito and my journalistic ethos for a long time. We spend most of our time investigating crimes in Shibuya. Stuff like the attacks on the homeless people that had been flooding the city ever since the earthquake, and urban legends about a company involved in the rebuilding who'd put up tons of security cameras all around the city, and a serial arson case where the culprit had never been caught. The red-haired crazy bit? And now these strange deaths. For her part, Caruso said that a student paper shouldn't be investigating crimes. She wrote normal, sincere articles and made normal, sincere videos. The video about the Shibuya recovery efforts that had won a prize had been mostly her work.
タクル、今回あなたおかしい。学校をサボってまで事件を追うなんて今までなかったでしょ。
That was true. But the reason why was obvious, right? I was lucky enough to have this huge mystery right in front of me.
今回に関しては学校をサボるのもしょうがないよ。
なぜ？
だって新聞部を立ち上げてから初めて起こった渋谷での大きな事件じゃないか。こんな美味しいネタ。
I mean, it's not like it doesn't affect the community when people are being attacked. Gotta raise awareness.
おいしい？
Please? That face was bad news. It was scary. Ito was right next to me, so I grabbed him and held him tight. Zoinks, Raggy.
おい、縦にすんなって。え、縦なの？てか副部長、何その顔？
Let's split up, gang.
おいしいですって？人が死んでるっていうのに？
違います。すいません。
I mean, I get where she's coming from, but horrible things happen in the world, and there are undeniably going to be people who try to capitalize on others' misfortune. And this is not entirely selfish. We're raising awareness. And I'm making excuses because I'm inside his head. I really can't handle this.
すんなって。ちょっと待って、マジで縦なの？
やばい、やばい。
That face was seriously bad news. The Empress was scary enough that she could send a demon running in terror. I'd never even met a demon either. That's just how scary she was.
もう一度言ってくれる？よりによってあなたが人が死んでおいしいですって？
Oh. Oh shit. I needed to find some way to stop her. What? And then I felt the wind rush by my ears. Quick! Do the skirt flip. Oh, shoot. He actually did it. And at the worst possible time, the wind blew through the room. Oh, shoot. Why is the student council president wearing a skirt that short anyway? It's her fault. Kurusu didn't even have enough time to hold down her skirt. Divine intervention! Praise Kami-sama. My eyes were locked with Kurusu's as I heard the sounds from the open window. I hadn't even realized it was open until then. There was a tennis court on top of the special use building. That was probably the tennis team out there. I needed to say something. Was I supposed to tell her I hadn't seen anything?
副部長
Don't do it.
白なんですねイメージ通りというか
Congratulations, you are now officially my shield. Idiot. Are you trying to get yourself killed?
私の下着の色が何色か今関係あんのか
I mean, I could answer that, but I don't want to get involved in this. I flinched at the sudden noise. I'm sorry. And then I realized. I was sure that was the sound of Kurusu kicking the wall, or maybe the sound of her murdering Ito. But I was wrong. It was coming from deeper inside the room.
あの子はまったく
Waifu number 3? Wow, we are on a roll.
和樹来てたの和樹そうかヘッドホン
Kurusu sighed and pulled off the headphones that Kazuki always wore.
円数2でイラついたからって壁を殴るのはやめなさい何度も言ってるでしょ
ESO2. Like, a game? Oh yeah, she's playing a game. I'm sorry we were bothering you while you were trying to play some first-person shooter. Oh, an MMORPG. I'm all for JRPGs, but I haven't really played any MMOs myself.
うん
This is definitely someone new.
壁へこんでるじゃないもう
Gamer girl kawaii. Hana Kazuki. The only first-year student in the newspaper club. But forget her. This is my chance. Play me in Fortnite! As Kurusu was rubbing the red marks on Kazuki's hand, I said,
とにかく僕は事件を追う発見があったんだもしかしたら大きな手がかりになるかもしれない
Kurusu glared at me for a moment, but
おおマジかよしすぐ準備する聞かせてくれぜひ聞かせてくれ
talk and walk, people. It's the kind of thing you say on your way out the door. Ito hurried over to the club's computer, desperate for any chance to escape his doom. I stared back at Kurusu for a moment, and then...
PC 立ち上げてストレージの画像プリントアウトしてくれ
了解だ。
Ito's voice was louder than it needed to be as he turned on the computer.
もう殴らないこと。いい？うん。
Maybe she took pity on poor Ito because she didn't say anything else, but she still crossed her arms and glared at us as she leaned against the wall. She was at least going to hear me out, it looked like. Or maybe it was just her way of making sure I didn't escape.
後で飯をおごれよ。
I don't know you, Jack. You dug your own grave.
なんで？やだよ。
盾にしやがって気まずすぎんだろ。こんなもん10-0の巻き込まれ事故じゃねえか。
You commented on her color. Shut up.
それは謝るけど、でも今回はまだマシだ。手が出なかったから。え？手って副部長？
I nodded. Kurusu was the girl that everyone looked up to, but she was actually very short-tempered. It would take more than 5 fingers, but less than 10 to count the number of times she'd slap me hard. When I told him that,
マジか。そんな、なんていうか、ありなの？そんなことする女子高生本当にいんのか？ヒスか S っ子手前じゃん。
sadistic personality who enjoys inflicting pain on others, extremely dangerous. How is that not just tsundere? Hysteric. That's a thing? Not the word, I mean hiss. Eh. We don't need to make an abbreviation for everything, people.
ねえ、あなた方。陰口は聞こえないように言えって言われないの？
Yeah, we should have learned that from the previous classroom. The almost hiss didn't even bother looking at us as she spoke.
いや、そのセリフを言ったことはあるんだけどね。それもついさっき教室で。
Nice cover.
そう。
And then she fell silent. She was scary as hell. I felt like if I moved, she'd kill me.
おごりだ。決定だ。大盛りにデザートだ。異論は認めん。
Once again, you are digging your own grave. I'm looking up these definitions based on words you have said.
高校じゃん、今のは。
I'm sure we can agree to that. Actually, it was 100% Ito's fault for not keeping his mouth shut.
なあ、
What?
見たか？見たよな。
Again, why are we still talking about this in the same room?
見てないよ。
That was a lie. I'd seen it. They were white. I glanced at Kurusu out of the corner of my eye. I guess that really was just what you'd expect. Still, I'd only gotten a glimpse. It was entirely possible I'd been mistaken. If I burned the image into my brain now, maybe the next time something like this happened, I'd be able to react more quickly. But would you want to, though? So I prayed for more good luck. If it ever did happen again, I swore I would react as a right-sider should. A right-sider wouldn't panic over something as insignificant as seeing a girl's underwear. In a situation like that, it was critical that you stay calm. When she heard Ito turn on the printer, Kazuki trotted over like she usually did. The online game addict had the best computer skills of anyone in the club. Yep. We know this. We're watching this right now. We are addicts and we are proud of it. Keep up the positivity. Whenever she was around, it was her job to run searches and organize the information on the PC.
和
But
樹手伝わなくていい。この件については部の活動と認めてないから。
Kazuki gave us a questioning look.
あとそうなんだ。
No, I want to talk to her. She hasn't really said a thing, technically, yet. Kazuki just said, like she always did, and walked away.
ほら和樹、まだ手赤いわ。もっとさすってあげるから。
Kazuki obediently walked towards Kurusu. Kurusu took her hands and rubbed them gently like a mother would. Are we looking at Yuri now?
痛かったでしょ。どうしてそんな無茶をするの？どう？まだ痛い？痛いの痛いの飛んでけ。
This is totally Yuri.
和樹どうしたの？急に抱きついて。まあ甘えん坊さんなんだから。あ、もしかして私がしばらく部室に来られなかったから寂しかったの？じゃあわからないわ。ほら、私の目を見てちゃんと答えてね。寂しかったんでしょ？違う？
Whisper in her ear. Let me part those lips for you.
照れちゃって可愛いのね。
Megane gaming girl kawaii.
ごめんね、寂しい思いさせて。でも安心して、今日はずっと和樹と一緒にいてあげるから。私もあなたと一緒にいられて嬉しい。手の痛みはもう引いた？まだ？じゃあとっておきのおまじない。
Chew. Kazuki watched with a soft look of ecstasy in her eyes as Kurusu softly kissed her fingers. It felt like I was seeing something I shouldn't, so I looked away. Don't you
和樹
dare!
の指、細くてとっても綺麗。
おい、何ぼんやりしてるんだ？
Not now, Ito. We're getting to the good part here. Damn it.
宮代？
いや、別に。
We're sorry. Miyashiro is not here. But if you leave your name and number, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. I chased the stupid idea out of my mind. Kurusu was nice to everyone, even girls like Kazuki, who couldn't communicate with others. Of course, in reality, Kurusu and Kazuki had never done anything like that, and they never would. Che. Kazuki put her headphones on and walked back to the corner of the room. She started slamming keys again. I never did know how to talk to her. Actually, it felt like it had been forever since I'd ever spoken to her. If you could call this a conversation, that is. She'd been part of the newspaper club for 6 months, and all I knew about her was that she liked games, knew a lot about computers, and hated talking. I'm a lot of those things. In the end, Ito printed out the pictures, and I took them and went in front of the bulletin board before Kurusu changed her mind. If Kurusu was going to listen, it was probably better to start at the beginning. She didn't seem interested in the cases, but if I ignored her and made her even madder, even using Ito as a shield wouldn't be enough to save me.
今僕らが追っている事件は2つ。まず1つ目は今月の7日に起きたニコニア生放送公開自殺事件、通称こっちみんな。
They seriously called it that, or did you?
場所はここ、ジンナ。事件の内容は名前の通り、ニコニア動画で生放送していた男が放送中に突然自殺した。
And that little clip might be a little hard to read, but it's basically outlining the case. Utani was Nikonia live streamer who did regular shows called I Can See the Future, where he would make prophecies. He cut off his own right arm in the middle of the live stream, put it on a plate, and then ate it in front of the audience. After that, he was likely dead from blood loss. It seems likely he committed suicide in a fit of insanity, and police are looking for whoever violated his room directly before the suicide. They are considering prosecution for abetting a suicide.
厳密に言うと完全に自殺と決まったわけじゃないんだけど、死んだ時の状況からそう言われてる。名前は大谷優馬、21歳。俺氏、未来が見えてしまう件についてっていう預言者もどきみたいな放送を定期的にやって結構アクセス数を稼いでいたニア生主で、その状況だけど、まず放送中に大谷氏はコメントを設ける時間をとって一旦カメラ前から姿を消す。その後ドアがノックされて誰かが来たらしい音をわずかだけどマイクが拾ってる。聞き取れないけど何かを話す声も。そしてカメラ前に戻ってくると右腕が半分なくなってた。細かく切断されて自分が持ってきた皿の上に乗ってたんだ。そしてその指を自分で食べた。まるで痛みを感じていない素振りで。
Yikes. Kurusu's expression changed a little. She probably hadn't known that. The suicide had been big news even on TV, so she probably had seen it there. But the details had been so horrific that the news hadn't broadcast them. But those details could be found anywhere on the internet. It was only a matter of time before someone started putting it all together. The video itself had even started to get around.
そして少し経ってからいきなり苦しみ出して死亡した。見ていた人は事件として発覚するまでいたずらか何かだと思っていたみたい。
I still remember that last commenter. I'm gonna find something cooler to watch than this. He is probably dreading that last comment.
出血性ショック死な。警察の発表でもそうなってたし、混沌するまでの時間を考えても間違いない。
Ito added. Ito knew more about this stuff than I did. He was a fan of bizarre murders, and he'd read 10 times as many killers' diaries and non-fiction crime books as I had.
何らかの理由で精神が錯乱した上での自殺って見解が濃厚らしいけど、警察は自殺の直前に部屋を訪ねてきた誰かを探しているらしい。もしかしたら自殺幇助や自殺教唆の疑いがあるんじゃないかって。
In Japan, if you saw someone trying to kill themselves and didn't intervene, it wasn't a crime unless the police could prove you wanted them to die. But aiding in a suicide, or encouraging someone to commit suicide, was illegal. That meant that the police were probably looking for whomever met Utani just before his death. We don't know how many people were in that room. We never heard voices either. We knew someone was there. Kurusu was silent, but she was looking at the board and seemed to be listening. It seemed safe. On to the next case.
2つ目は19日に起きた事件。死体の状況から音漏れ炭っていう通称がついてる。場所はここ、深セン。名前は高柳桃音、20歳。ニコニアの歌ってみたの歌い手で、最近ネットで有名になってきてるアニメソングのコピーバンドのボーカル。
Died from blood loss after having a speaker implanted in her stomach. Ugh. It's believed that after she performed with her band at a concert hall, someone sliced open her stomach and inserted a speaker inside the wound before she died and traveled along the road beside the highway with the speaker inside her, then sat down on the sidewalk. The speaker inside her stomach continuously played a record which said, "Stay and listen for a while." A fan of hers said she had something special that just drew you in. It's a shame. Dang it. I didn't even get to hear her sing.
復興祭のステージで歌うことも決まってた。バンドの派手な衣装を着たまま一人でストリートライブもしていて、晴れの日は毎日決まった場所、決まった時間で演奏していたらしい。その日はいつもの場所にかなり遅刻して現れてライブを始めた。だけど何か様子がおかしかった。声が小さくていつもの感じじゃなかったらしい。そして結局ライブの最中に死亡した。こっちも失血死。ライブを始める前からお腹を刺傷していたんだ。妙なのがやっぱり遺体の状況で。糸再生してくれ。
お。
Ito tapped a few keys on the computer's keyboard. And a moment later, Kurusu looked confused when she heard the sound. Evidently, she wasn't able to make it out.
ああ、そっちじゃなくて渋谷ニュースが音声いじってアップしてくれた方。
ああ、そっちだよな。
Ugh. Her expression changed. She must have been able to hear it this time.
ありがとう。ゆっくりしていってね。 常連のお客さんによれば、いつも彼女はこの一言からストリートライブを始めていたんだって。
Well, that's gonna get really creepy from now on.
ニアドユーザーだからな。なんでも歌ってみたの歌い手の中では彼女のライブが一番だって最近評判だったらしいぞ。
Is Niconia the link? Kurusu seemed to be ignoring me and Ito. She was staring at the computer screen that was the source of the sound.
今のは
悲鳴は死体を発見したお客さんたちのもの。動画で撮っていた人がいたんだ。で、今のは高柳さん自身の声で。お腹に埋め込まれていた小型のスピーカーから聞こえてきたんだ。
I guess I wasn't meant to read that note on the bulletin board. Sorry if I ruined the impact. Kurusu seemed confused, so Ito interjected.
つまりその日のライブは最初から録音されたものだったんだよ。
後で発見された証拠によると、彼女はコンビニで売ってるカッターで自分で自分の腹を裂いて Bluetooth のスピーカーを埋め込んだらしい。ガムテープで止血とも呼べない適当な応急処置をした後、着ている服と衣装でその傷を隠してライブを始めたんだ。最初は録音した自分の声に合わせてギターを弾いていたらしいんだけど、途中からは歌声だけになった。それからはうつむきっぱなしだったみたいだから、その時にはすでに死亡してたんじゃないかな。だけどお客さんは様子がおかしいとは思いながらも気づかずにずっと聴き続けて、彼女のポケットに入れていた携帯音楽プレイヤーが傷から流れた血液で壊れたのか、最初からそういう設定だったのか。とにかくさっきの音声トラックがリピート再生されるまで死んでいるとは気づかなかった。
That is weird. Kurusu's face was a mixture of confusion and discomfort. I'm right there with you. Were they hypnotized? Of course it was. She'd never heard of something like this. I couldn't hold back my excitement. Not the first word I'd use.
すごいだろ。
Don't say it! Instead of agreeing, Kurusu's brow furrowed. She probably didn't realize it, but she'd wrapped her arms around herself. What was wrong? Was that a little too creepy?
で
And?
ここまでは単にこれまでの事件の整理だろ。発見ってのは？
Oh yeah, he was right. I used the computer to print out a series of pictures.
当然だけど、両方とも事件の目的はわからない。今のところ唯一の不審人物である大谷氏の部屋を訪ねてきた人間が何者で何を考えて何を話したのかも見当がつかない。でも僕はこの妙な事件はまだ続くと思う。被害者の共通点からの推測でしかないけどね。
は？マジか？
Ito leapt out of his chair in shock. Well, I couldn't blame him.
共通点に関しては散々話し合ったろ。分かったのは渋谷に住んでることとニア道のユーザーだったこと。
Okay, good, so it wasn't that obvious.
あとはまあ2人ともある程度の知名度があって自殺した状況が異常だってことくらいか。でもそんなもんじゃそれ以上のことは何も見えてこなかっただろう。
気づかないか？別の共通点。
I pointed towards the bulletin board as I spoke. Ito looked really annoyed.
偉そうにしよってからに。そもそもこっちの気を引くようにプリントアウトしてるやつはなんだ？
One of the best parts of finding something like this was seeing the angry look on his face. Well, it was only yesterday that I'd found it myself, though.
じらさなくていいから。何を見つけたの？
He's pulling a Jimmy Kudo on us right now. The culprit is you. Kurusu beckoned for me to go on. No matter what she said, after hearing all this, she probably wanted to know what came next. Oh, it was done printing. Kazuki suddenly stood in front of me. She offered me the printed images without a word.
ありがとう。
So close. Then she offered me something else. Sweet. A lollipop.
くれるの？
She nodded.
どうも。
Thank you. And on that note, I think this is a good place to stop. Keep us in suspense for next time, and find out what is the common link between these two murders. I'm gonna go find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of this pop. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.